Breaking below this critical support level of 8,500 is a bearish sign. We also had a crossover and price actually also failed to break above this. This trend line is now acting as a very strong resistance. This price of Bitcoin is getting squeezed between these two lines. Hey everyone, thank you so much for joining in. So looking at the current Bitcoin price action, you can see today we are at the exact same level where our monthly candle opened. So this monthly candle open level is now acting as a very strong resistance for Bitcoin price action, and you can see price after reaching around this area, you can see this weak rejection here, this small weak rejection here, indicating hey, this level is now acting as a resistance. And if you notice this price structure here, this monthly open candle level here, this monthly open candle level here, and also this monthly candle open here, this in an upper trend, when the trend was heading to the upside, this actually acts as a very strong support. And we have talked about this plenty of time in my previous videos, right? So this now here in a downtrend is acting as a very strong resistance. And if you look at this price structure here, you can notice price after dropping below this monthly candle open, this was the monthly candle open level, so this is now clearly below this monthly level, and now this is also acting as a very strong resistance. And if you notice the price action of Bitcoin whole, guys, you will also notice I have drawn a trend line from December 2018 till now. So this trend line here has also a very important role to play, because if you notice this price structure here, when the trend was actually starting a new run, you can notice this trend line acted as a very strong support here, right? We headed to the upside, but when it actually broke below this trend line, the trend got very hard to break above it. It got rejection here, it got rejection here, it tried plenty of time, but you can see when it actually broke to the upside, this was a massive bullish candle here, and then we found a really strong support along this trend line, and also we headed to the upside, right? You can see the same scenario here. When the trend actually started reversing to the downside, this trend line acted as a very strong support. You can see the result, we had this pump to the upside, and also when the trend actually broke below it, it again acted as a very strong resistance, not letting price to break above it. And we tried plenty of time, and then you can see the result. It broke here, we had this pump to the upside, and then when the trend actually started heading to the downside, then supported the price. So we had this big price drop around that particular level. You can see here, right, the result, because this trend line didn't act as a support, and the same trend line now, when the price was trying to break above it, acted as a very strong resistance. And after that we had this price correction. But now if you look at this trend line and also look at this price action of Bitcoin here, guys, what can you notice? You can see clearly this trend line has now acted as a very strong resistance line, not letting price to break above it. And you can see the result here. We tried here, we failed. We tried here, we failed. So now you can see what I'm actually trying to show here is in a downtrend, this trend line is now acting as a very strong resistance. So if the price is going to break above it, it has to break this trend line very clearly according to this analysis. Because if you look at the price structure here, this trend line has acted as a very strong support and resistance for the Bitcoin price action. And now this rejection here, this second rejection here, is indicating maybe the possibility of price reverse is very likely. But I'm not expecting a big price correction, guys. As I've already said you, our focus is going to be around this 8,500 level. So this month before monthly candle open level is going to be our target area. So we are expecting price correction to be around that level. And also if you look at the awesome oscillator here below, you can see the divergence around this particular area, indicating the trend reversal. We had this divergence plenty of time, and this divergence actually indicated the real price correction or the price recovery, because you can see in a downtrend, this upward divergence here indicated the trend reversal. Then we headed straight to the upside. And if you look at this here, since while the price was hitting, making higher highs, higher lows, this histogram here was a clear indicating, hey, we have to be careful, because now we are not providing a similar indication. And so after that, what happened? You can see this price correction. And if you look at this structure here and this current, this 2 week rejection area, and you can see this divergence actually occurring around this particular level, indicating the trend might be reversing very soon. And you can see what happened after that. The trend started following to the downside. And guys, I hope you are also actually noticing that along with my videos, I'm also providing you with different new indicators because I want you guys to also learn through my videos. And also another example which I actually like to show to you is this here, guys. So this is a scenario which we have already talked about in my previous video, but still Bitcoin is actually giving us a indication, hey, the price might be following this previous example, so I thought including it today as well. And now if you look at this price action, guys, this descending channel here indicating, hey, every time the price reaches the upper line of this descending channel, we get a correction. The lower line, we have a pump to the upside. And now if you notice that after price failing to break above this area, this upper line of this descending channel, it usually indicates the trend is about to reverse, and also the price correction might be appearing very soon. Because if you look at this area here, exactly, you can see we had this pump to upside, price failed to break above. We had this price correction here, price support around this lower line area, then again a nice price pump, and then we also had a rejection, and then price headed straight to the downside. And now you can see we actually didn't even came across to cross above this trend line area. So now you can see the strength is also weakening with time, because if you notice, if the price actually fails to cross above this area, this trend line here, this 20 daily moving average, that might be also an indication, hey, there is a strong rejection around this 9,300 level, because after that there might be a correction. And if you look at the same scenario here, and also focus, before I go to there, you can also focus this crossover happening here around this area, right? This 50 daily moving average crossing over this 20 daily moving average. And now if you look at this scenario here, this similar price correction, right? This descending channel, price failing to break above the upper line of this descending channel, we had this support area, and then when the price actually came across to break above this upper line of this descending channel, you can see this 20 daily moving average acted as a very, very strong resistance. And after that, we had a price correction. And if you look at this price action of Bitcoin, before that, we also had this crossover. You can notice that, right? That's why I wrote it very, very clearly. And if you look at this price action now, we also had a crossover, and price actually also failed to break above this 20 daily moving average, just like from 2020 February. And if you go backwards, you can see similar scenario unfolded there also, guys. This descending channel here, price failing to break above this structure, you can see crossover happened here, right? Before this crossover, we had this bullish crossover, but still the price actually followed this descending trend line, and then when it failed to break above the structure, it actually had this price correction to the downside, and the price correction was almost like 15% this time. And then in 2020 February, I don't want to include this black swan event, I'm just include price correction here around this 8,000 level. So this was around this 13% price correction. And now if you look at this price action of Bitcoin, if we are following the similar scenario, if the price is going to fail to break above it, let me make one thing very, very clear. As you can already see, since we are following the similar pattern, just like from the 2019, 2020, and again now also from 2020, this price structure here might be indicating, hey, we have to be careful, because if the price fails to break the upper line of the descending channel, then we might see a price correction. And according to this analysis, there might be a price correction around this 10 to 13%. But our focus right now is going to be around this 8,500, 8,600 level, guys, because around that level we have a very, very strong support. And let's see if the price is going to come around that level. And also another example which I also want to include into this video is this here, guys. So guys, this is a descending broadening wedge, and we have also talked about this scenario already in my previous video. But if you look at the price action of Bitcoin right now, guys, this is very, very interesting, because right now here where we are actually finding a very, very difficult to break above it. And so now we are also finding a strong support around the upper line of this descending broadening wedge. So this descending broadening wedge is holding the price very, very strong around this 9,000 level. So if this 9,000 level is going to get broken, as you can see the area here, I have actually mentioned it very, very clearly, that's going to be our dynamic support level, right? Here above here around this 10,000 to 10,500, that's our psychological level. So if the price actually breaks this psychological level, then there's a clear sign of a bull run. So if the price actually breaks below this dynamic support level, that's a sign of a reversal, guys. And reversal, I mean, I'm talking about a bearish scenario. Right now, this small correction, I don't want to call it a bearish scenario, because this price correction is very, very normal. So looking at this right now, we are looking around this area of 8,500 to 8,600 level. So we want price to hold around this area, because this is also the area where our upper trend line of this descending broadening wedge is going to be, and it's going to hold the price. And I've also written it very clearly above here, guys. Breaking above 10,000 or 10,500 psychology level is a bullish sign, and breaking below this critical support level of 8,500 is a bearish sign. So for breakout, we want a price with increased volume confirmation. So if this is going to be a breakout, we also want a volume to confirm that. So, and another example, another simple example, what I also want to include into this video is this here, guys. So this here is symmetrical triangle from Wyckoff distribution ranges and phases. And if you look at this price action of Bitcoin and through my chart here, guys, you can see very clearly that what I'm actually trying to prove here. This is in a weekly time frame, just like my previous example. And we have also talked about this scenario plenty of time in my past videos. And if you look at the price action where we are here, this is this line here. This is exactly the support which we were talking about. This dynamic support around this 8,500 to 8,600 level. So if you look only on this particular area where we are and focus only on this level, you can notice, guys, this price of Bitcoin is getting squeezed between these two lines. So what I'm actually expecting is a breakout. It could be a breakout to the downside, and also it could be a breakout to the upside. But if you look at this price action, you can see that the price is not going to be actually following a slow move to the downside or slow move to the upside, because now we are at the critical level. So if the price is going to hold this level, it's going to break out very in a massive pace, guys. But if this is going to fail to hold this level, and I'm actually expecting a big price correction in a bigger scale. So that's why right now where we are, it's also very important, because you can see this candle, this weekly candle, is getting smaller and smaller and getting squeezed between this upper line of this symmetrical triangle and this support line around this 9,000 level. So guys, let's see how it's going to go, because this month, in my personal opinion, is going to be very interesting month for Bitcoin. Guys, this is what I actually want to share with you in today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and if so, I would really appreciate if you could smash the like button and also hit the subscribe button if you're watching this for the first time. So guys, by saying this, I'm signing off. My name is Anup. Bye bye.